Hi, this is Dr. King again. Welcome back to yet another episode of Book Talk. In today's book talk, I'm going to discuss about my recent audiobook, Mysterious Experiences: A Peek Beyond the Confines of the Mind. Swami Vivekananda once mentioned some mysterious experience he used to have in his younger days, that is, before he became a sannyasi. Whenever he closed his eyes before he slept, he could see a bright light in front of him. But Swamiji never felt that was something unusual. He thought everyone else experiences the same way. Only much later, he learned that was something unusual and probably a result of meditative practices that he followed. Many among us might have had different mysterious experiences for which they have no explanation. Some may start getting worried, some may be confused, and others may just ignore it. And there are some gurus who write books on these experiences, often mystifying them further and giving their own mystic interpretations. Of course, those books sell like hotcakes and increase the guru's popularity. I too had several strange experiences right from my early childhood days that sometimes puzzled me, but I rarely discussed them with anyone, nor I ever attempted to write a book on them. I felt that would give a wrong message. If you study books on yoga, especially the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, you come across mention about several such experiences one may go through during the process of yoga practice. Buddha gives an excellent detail of such experiences one may go through when one follows the meditative path. Buddha also gives logical explanation to some of such experiences. When I read Buddhist Tripitakas that detail Buddha's discourses, I felt that many of my questions about my own experiences had answers in them. I normally discourage illogical way of thinking. Such thinking often leads to wrong conclusions and can even be an impediment in one's progress. Besides, they can also be used by fake gurus to fool gullible people. That is the reason I never talked about my own experiences till recently, even though some of these experiences were from my early childhood days. But then I thought, why not write about them as I experienced them and also try to analyze them logically to the extent possible? This would serve many purposes. Firstly, many people who had similar experiences and remained confused can find comfort that such experiences are not abnormal. Secondly, instead of jumping to false conclusions that can take them completely off the track, they can try to analyze them to the extent possible and can still retain their rational approach. Thirdly, and most importantly, they can safeguard themselves from false gurus who try to make much of such claimed experiences and mislead innocent people. So, here you have a book that details many of my personal mysterious experiences, followed by some analysis of each case. While listening to this book, bear in mind that the experience one goes through may be real in the sense it is the honest portrayal of what one went through, but the actual event that happened may not exactly correspond to what the person thought has happened. Let me explain. When you move in the darkness, you may experience that you have seen a ghost, but what actually you saw was a mere shadow of some object. In other words, just because you have had an experience is not proof enough that such a thing has actually happened. Many people having similar experiences at the same time does not endorse your conclusions either. Let me give another example. When you see a magician saw his assistant into two pieces or three pieces, you really experience the gory incident. It is not just you, but every one of the spectators along with you have the same experience. That does not make the event true. It was, after all, an illusion created by the magician. While the experience is true, the fact that it corresponds to an event you thought it does is false. Only way out is to analyze as impartially as possible and try to understand such an experience. That's what exactly I have done in this book. But I should admit that not all mysterious experiences can be fully analyzed, since each one of us have our own limitations to reasoning, and some experiences may turn out to be beyond reasoning. Now let me play a short sample of the audiobook. As I kept staring at the flame, I saw the flame getting bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter. Gradually, I could see darkness around the flame and the other members of the family who were sitting close to me and around the lamp, moving farther and farther away from the flame and dissolving into the darkness. I could still hear the song they were singing as if from a great distance. Then I saw a dark tunnel in front of me. The already grown bright flame seemed to be moving into the tunnel. Soon the flame started moving into the tunnel faster and faster at a mind-blowing speed, and I felt as if it is dragging me along. I could not see anyone around me, nor I could hear the sound of the song others were singing. There was deafening silence. Probably it lasted for a few seconds. That's what I thought. All of a sudden, I felt that someone abruptly dropped me from a great height, and I was startled. Slowly, I could see the flame returning to its normal shape, the darkness around it disappearing. Gradually, I started hearing faint sounds of others singing, and by, I started seeing them too, sitting around me. This was the audiobook sample. Now, where can I find this book? You can find this book in almost every online store that sells audiobooks, such as Audible, Amazon, iTunes, Kobo, Scribd, and so on. You can even borrow this book from many libraries such as Bibliotheca, HiBooks, among others. On the screen, I have given some links to these stores, and you can click them and visit those stores to purchase or view the book. By the way, this book is also available both in ebook as well as print book format. See http://bookstory.com/mysterious experiences for a preview or purchase of this book in these formats. Some stores like Amazon may even show the audiobook version as well, along with the other formats. I hope you enjoy listening to this book. Bye then, till we meet again week after next with another of my books.